Spider-Man, one of the world's most popular superheroes, with a variety of cool costumes. One of his most famous happening to be his black symbiote costume. And behind every cool costume is an even cooler story. (1982). Marvel Comics was running a writing competition looking for fresh ideas and new talent. 22-year-old Randy Schueller came up with an idea for Spider-Man to get a new costume. While that's something very common in today's world, it was basically non-existent at the time. It would be created by Reed Richards using unstable molecules similar to the suits of the Fantastic Four, and would have been designed by the Wasp. Schueller spoke on the experience years later, saying,
"Back in the early 80s, Marvel ran a competition for aspiring writers and artists. Being a lifelong Spidey fan with delusions of comic grandeur, I took a stab at a story idea. I thought it would be cool if Spidey needed an upgrade to his powers and his look, so I came up with this idea that Reed Richards had made a new costume for Spidey using the same unstable molecules that the Fantastic Four costumes are made of. The unstable molecules would flow into Peter's pores and allow him to cling to walls better. I think my original idea was to increase his sticking power by 25% or something like that."
Sometime later, Randy received a letter in the mail from Marvel's editor-in-chief at the time, Jim Shooter, offering to buy the idea from Randy for a sum of $220, $603 in today's money, and a chance to script the comic. There were attempts and some back and forths with Randy and Marvel, but things ultimately didn't work out. Marvel and Randy parted ways. The idea would lay dormant. 1984. Marvel had made a deal with toy company Mattel for a new line of action figures that would coincide with a comic called Secret Wars. It would run for 12 issues and feature all of Marvel's big-time heroes. But this would not stop the heroes' main ongoings, as they would disappear at the end of one issue and return in the next with some kind of change. And for Spider-Man, this was a new costume. Reworking the old idea Marvel had bought a few years ago, Mike Zeck was brought in to do the design, giving us a more sleek and simplified look for the webhead that was just as striking as the original. It originally featured a large red spider emblem, but this had to be changed due to the red and black not working well in the printing process, as it made the spider legs run together. This gave us the big white logo we know and love today. Before the suit's big reveal in issue 252 of The Amazing Spider-Man, rumors of a design change circulated through the fan base, and the fans hated the idea, sending letters upon letters protesting the change. This scared editor-in-chief Jim Shooter so much that he went to then Spider-Man writer Tom DeFalco and told him to introduce the costume in 252 and can it by the next issue. DeFalco opposed the idea, saying that it needed to stick until its debut in Secret Wars issue 8, and that there should be a story reason as to why Peter ditches the suit, giving us the story of the symbiote. But the Spidey team's luck would end up like the character they were writing, as once the suit debuted, the fans loved it, which they didn't find out until about 3 months later, as they were working on getting rid of it. As a compromise, the Spidey team decided to have Black Cat sew a cloth version of it so that they could bring it back into the story, and they would switch it back and forth with the classic red and blue depending on if the story was more action-based or an emotional story. Things remained this way up until the introduction of Venom in issue 299 and 300, where Mary Jane was traumatized by him, leading her to hate the black costume, and convincing Peter to wear the old red and blue once again. The black suit would appear again here and there over the years, but the days of it being a main suit were done. But that wasn't it for the black costume, as it made its first non-comic debut in 1994's Spider-Man the Animated Series, where it introduced the idea of the symbiote altering Peter's mood. After this, the suit would go on to be in other cartoons, toys, video games, and in 2007, it would make its silver screen debut in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, solidifying itself as an icon. It's interesting to see how a single fan's idea really impacted the webhead. So that was the first video for this channel, and hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe hit that subscribe button to see a little more. And I want to thank everyone that helped me make this, who I'll have linked in the description. And, well, thanks for watching.